Good morning. Our cause is gun violence, and this is what we found.
One.
Gun violence in St. Louis is a very serious problem that affects communities and families, and it needs to be addressed so we can put it into it. Gun violence is a horrible daily occurrence that takes away our most significant right, the right to live. News reports of shootings and violent crime have been a problem in the St. Louis area. Because gun violence impacts communities, schools, and families, it is important that St. Louis residents work to address this problem. Now here's our research on what we found about the causes of gun violence in the St. Louis area.
The causes of gun violence are poverty, gang activity, drug crime, easy access to guns, lack of jobs, and community resources. And those issues are caused by violence and people losing their lives in St. Louis. St. Louis is known to have the highest gun violence rate. Poverty can help lead to gun violence because people may have fewer jobs, less money, and less opportunities.
St. Louis has historically recorded some of the highest per capita murder and firearm mortality rates of any large city in the U.S., often peaking above 60 deaths per 100,000. This piece of evidence shows the drastic negative impact that gun violence has on the St. Louis community. These rates are not just statistics, but these are lives that are being taken away. These extremely high numbers cause so much brokenness in communities and families. Here's our other piece of evidence. A major public health poll by Washington University found that 44% of St. Louis residents identify gun violence as their top health priority, making it the most frequently cited concern among local community members. This statistic and percentage shows how much of an issue gun violence is. The phrase top health priority holds a connotation that is a high demand issue in the health department. This is not good because they can be putting their medical attention to other people. If we would just stop gun violence. Gun violence is always a choice because at the end of the day, someone has to pull the trigger. But diagnoses like cancer or sickle cell are not by choice, and they need the medical needs as well.
Gun violence impacts many different groups of people throughout St. Louis. Gun violence disproportionately affects Black people. Black people are 2.5 times more likely to be victimized for a violent crime than white people. Young African American males are the main victims of gun homicides. Some factors to this are concentrated poverty, limited economic opportunities, and unequal access to help. Gun violence has harmed St. Louis by draining hundreds of millions of dollars from the local economy. This is a result of the city's failed attempts to put an end to this problem. Overall, gun violence affects not only its direct victims, but the families, neighborhoods, and community of St. Louis.
Gun violence is a reminder of failure in St. Louis and a need to change. Gun violence typically occurs because of issues happening in one's life behind closed doors, such as poverty, gang activity, drug crime, easy access to guns, and lack of jobs and community resources. Because of horrible occurrences like this happening in St. Louis, it's the citizens' responsibility to resolve this issue. There are many ways to reduce gun violence in the St. Louis community. For instance, creating more youth programs. This will help the youth create a safe space for themselves to learn and grow. Increasing job opportunities will do wonders for the community, giving adults a way out by showing them there's other ways to provide for themselves and others, and not just resort to illegal activities or gun violence. Last but not least, expanding mental health services will greatly benefit gun violence by helping people get counseling and support before problems escalate.
Thanks, Liani. Now here is who in our community has the power to make these changes. Kara Spencer is the mayor of St. Louis. She has the power to address and reduce gun violence, but it will take a combined approach of specific powers to stop it entirely. State control have the authority to put in place background checks, red flag laws, and assault weapon bans. Our police departments have the authority to try and parole it on the streets so it can be reduced. Now here's our solution. It's called the NECL Intervention Program. The first step of the solution we came up with is called the NECL Intervention Program. This is behind the CVI program, which means Community Violence Intervention. Our first step of this is the street outreach. Our first step to this is to get a group of leaders. Our second step is to assign roles for who will do each area of the St. Louis community and what they will reach out about. Our third step is to create flyers for the community.
Step 4, hang flyers up around the community. And step 5, go door to door and spread the word about our intervention.
Okay, so the next part of our solution is called the mental clinic. Step 1, we have to find a space for our clinic. Step 2, get a partnership with a local nonprofit. Step 3, find medical certified people who are willing to help mental struggles.
Number 4, get the resources that we need and that the medical professionals need. Resources such as counseling rooms and office space, chairs, desks, and waiting room furniture, computers and internet access, phones and scheduling software, and mental health screening forms and educational pamphlets. Number 5, get the word out and canvass the event so people know about it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching.